So why would you say people probably, for people that don't succeed with business credit, what would you say is maybe like the main reason?
Um,
Like a patience thing, or is it just
yeah,
like,
that too.
uh,
Patience is definitely one of them, but
yeah,
importantly, the lack of structure of their businesses. A lot of people businesses are not set up properly. They are inconsistent. They're changing things, so they may change with the IRS, but you're not changing with your bank account or your vendor accounts. So
mm,
as they're applying for different things, they're getting denied, right? And
mm,
also, personal credit is a major factor for that as well.
mm,
People's credit is just not intact right
mm,
now, and so when you're trying to get these high-end credit cards and things like that, and they're doing potential a soft pull or a hard pull, you're not meeting requirements,
yeah,
because, and it's not so, it is about the personal credit side, but also the utilization is the most important part of it, right? You got too much debt going on. So
hmm,
that kind of prevents people from moving forward. But you'll be surprised how many people are like literally not set up properly. They're not structured properly. They haven't followed the simple, protocol. I have like a 10-step protocol that I tell my students to follow. Make sure you have these things in place and just being consistent on every application, being consistent. Whatever you put on one, you put on the next, right? That you
hmm,
dot your I's and cross all of your T's, because
hmm.
it really does matter when it comes down to business credit.
Okay, definitely. For the listeners, 10-step protocol, where can we get that? Now,
So
is
you
that
can get.
strictly in your program or?
Oh, no, 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 no. So it is a free. I actually have it as a free guide
Okay,
right now. It's a free guide on my link tree.
okay,
So
perfect.
if you guys are on here, so my Instagram is EPA_financial. All
Hmm.
right. So you go to my link in my bio for my link tree. It is, I think, the first or second link. So it
Okay.
says 10-step guide and it is free 99.
Oh, it's
Okay.
the
So
first. It's the
download
first
the
one
guide.
right here. Free 10
Yeah.
step business credit. Okay,
Yes,
so right
sir.
there.
So they can download that, follow it to the T. And once you're able to do that, you're ready to start building business credit from that point.
Okay, cool, perfect, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, misconceptions about business credit. Let's get into it.
Child,
Yeah,
one of them is that you don't need personal credit, right?
that's a
That's
good one.
like probably the top thing is you don't have to have personal credit to build business credit. That's that's
Yeah,
that's not true, especially in the beginning. I think that's probably like one of the top things is not, you don't need personal credit to build business credit, because you see that so much.
yeah,
It's true to a certain extent, right? And it's always ways and strategies and things around certain things, right? But it doesn't
nice.
always work that way for everybody.
Yeah,
And you put, certain things in certain people's hands, honey, they're gonna go and mess it up.
that's true.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
work
true.
if
That's
they don't
true.
have a step by step, like this is what you do from A to Z. It's just not gonna work. So I think that's honestly for me, it's like the most biggest misconception about not needing personal credit when you're first starting out, because
Mhm.
you really do. It helps. It really helps to move the process on a little bit faster, for sure.
Okay, definitely. Let's say I'm a listener and I've tried to build business credit. I've gotten a lot of information from different people, and I'm just
Mhm.
kind of frustrated. I don't know how to move forward. What would your advice be for me?
So the first thing when I say to that, when people are like all over the place, is you need to book a consultation. You
Hmm.
need to book a consultation with a I don't call myself an expert or anything like that, just someone that, the way that I pick people is based upon personality, how your page is set up. I don't do a lot of flashy things. If you can fact check a person, to me, okay, all right, that person is somebody because I live authenticness, right?
Yeah,
But if someone is just all over the place or confused, because a lot of people don't trust that, right? So before I just try to dish out about an ebook or my course and things of that nature, people need to know that you're a real person.
gotcha.
So gain that confidence, right? To gain that trust for those individuals, that always say, go ahead and book a consultation. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's understand where you are in your business. I get to know who the person is. Where are you? Have you started the process? If you have, where you stuck at? So
Mhm.
just really building that relationship. Once you start building that relationship with people, then now from this point forward, they have more confidence to know what direction they're going to move in next. Right. And so that's where I start. So if you just all over the place, if you're confused, start with booking a consultation with anybody that you feel may be a good choice for you. Right. Book that consultation. To me, from that point, every time a person books, they're like, okay, Like, I feel better about it, like,
Yeah.
because I'm a relatable person. You got to be able to relate to people and, you know, show you care about their situation. And it's not all about the dollar all the time, you know, but making sure that they have that confidence in knowing that, okay, when I start building this business credit, I know for sure by the time this ends that I can at least have 6 and 7 figures in funding. So just starting with your consultations is first and foremost. And then from that point, decide on what product or service is best for you.
Okay. And if they want to book a consultation with you, it's link in your bio as well, right?
Yes. They want to book a consultation. The link is in my bio. Also on the Instagram page as well. It has like book now. So you can literally just click that also and book a consultation strictly from there as well.
Okay. Are there free consultation, paid consultation? Like what?
So the consultations are paid. So when it comes to the business funding, because a lot of people don't know what to do. So those are more so like a free 30-minute consultation for the business funding. So what that means would be like working capital, you know, a loan, things of that nature. But if it comes down to business credit, they are 1 hour via Zoom. So I have a one-on-one 1 hour via Zoom with them, and we talk about it. So the consultations right as of now, as of this video, is $60. Okay. So not anything that breaks, like people book it like with no problems, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
want it to be expensive or anything like that right now because I really want to, you know, dive deeper into their businesses and things like that. But the funding side is 30 minutes for free.
Okay, cool. So I want to talk about specifically business funding, because a lot of times when we talk about business funding, people don't take into consideration that we could be talking about business credit cards. We could be talking about, you know, business lines of credit. Can we talk about that? Maybe just, you know, your insight on that, just to give people more information. Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that, Michael, because that is people do get it kind of mixed up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of corrected when I say funding, I mean this and then the third, right? So business funding can be a collection, right? It can be a combination of things. So it can be lines of credit, it can be loans, it can be grants, it can be credit cards, all of those sort of things, right? So it's a combination of these things. So when people are saying they have hundreds of thousands in funding, that means they have a combination, especially when it comes to credit cards, right? So you can have $100,000 in credit lines alone from a credit card. But when it comes to, I try to correct when I say, okay, so funding can also be working capital as well. So I try to correct my wording when I say that. So when I'm saying like get extra money for your business, sometimes it can be working capital, which can be a line of credit, installment loan, revolving, whatever that may be, right? But funding can be a combination of several different factors that makes up that amount in funding that you have to be able to leverage your business and invest in different things of that nature. So hopefully that helps.
yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to clarify that because I know even I've talked to certain clients too, they get confused as far as that. So yeah, definitely. Is there a certain type of funding that you prefer as far as business? Like you prefer lines of credit, credit cards, you know?
Oh, so I'm hands down all about credit cards, but 0%. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all about my 0% APR credit cards. So
12 months, 18 months, 6 months.
Yes, absolutely. And so I think that's a beautiful thing, Michael, when it comes down to the credit card side, is that in business, you for sure can get you some 0% APR credit cards, right? With American Express and Capital on Tap, and I'm sorry, not Capital on Tap, Capital One, different people like that, even Chase and things like that, right? That goes from, like you said, 12 months, 18 months, and so forth. So I prefer definitely that over anything. But ultimately, every business I personally feel should have a line of credit, right? So line of credit is ultimately my favorite out of everything. And the reason being, so a line of credit would be like a revolving loan. So a revolving loan would basically mean that if you have $100,000 line of credit, you spend $25,000, right? You pay back that $25,000. Now you still have a full line of credit of $100,000. So it just basically you're able to just kind of recycle in a sense. You use the money, pay it back, you still have it at the same time. So those are my favorite. Installment loans are great as well, but once you use that money, you pay it back in your term. That's it. You got to start over. Right? You got to go get some more money. So my favorite are these 0% APR credit cards and lines of credits hand down.
Yeah, I definitely like lines of credit because, use as you go, basically.
Yes.
If you're responsible, you obviously want to be responsible with this. So yeah, definitely.
Yes. And the ones at the banks, right? Because I'm all about, you know, a lot of people, I just did a webinar and stuff last night and they was pretty shook by this. So
Okay.
I think it's good for people to know that when you're doing alternative loans, online banking loans, right? Those type of loans, with like Bluevine and Cabbage and all of these different people, that when you're paying it back, it can either be on a daily rate or a weekly rate when it comes to business. Okay. So a lot of people don't know that, but you're going to pay it back either on a daily or a weekly, right? Ultimately, eventually, once you get into like the lines of credit, that comes when people have about 2 years in business, but you got to have like a healthy amount, like in funding, in revenue, right? Monthly, to be able to get like a line of credit on the business side. It's very possible, but you got to show some, you got to show some paperwork, right?
Yeah.
To get that. But I think that is a good thing for people to know, that when you're seeking working capital, right, for whatever reason in your business, and you're choosing to do those alternative loans or those online lenders, that your payback is either going to be daily or weekly. It's very rare. It's very rare that you will have a loan that you can pay back monthly from those lenders. Now, more so with the banks or credit union on that side, it may be so, you know, more so on a monthly side and less fee. So I think that is very important for people to understand that everybody can't get one with the banks or credit unions. So that's why they're there. But you need to know, if you get that you may have to pay it back weekly or daily.
Okay, those are Bluevine, all them. Those are the ones with you like bad credit, right? I think, or no?
Not really with bad credit, because I think like you don't have to have amazing credit, right? It could be like a 620, 600, like depending upon that, right? But though they work a little bit more like with, you know, businesses, small business and things like that. And your revenue maybe have to be about 10,000 a month. So it's not like grand, right? But they have them out there because, again, everybody can't get one from the banks because of the years of tax returns and all this stuff. So you may have to go that route. But to me, honestly, Michael, some people also still sleep on the fact that you can get a personal loan to use for business, right? So you can still use personal and leverage that initially, right? And until you build up that rapport in your business to be able to, now I can qualify for actual business funding, construction loan, like different things like that in your business. So you may have to go the personal side. And to me, ultimate why it's still important that you have a good personal credit score as well, and your low utilization, so you're able to utilize that if you just have to use it for business until you get your, you know, start generating cash flow within your business.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, no, that's definitely a good point about the different payouts if you can't go through the bank. So hopefully people are taking notes.
I hope so, because I gave me a lot of teeth.
No, definitely, you know, that's why we're doing this. But I want to talk about years of history. Let's say I'm impatient. I'm like, okay, I hear you got to have at least 2 years of history to get good funding. What's your opinion on me buying like an aged corp or something?
Can you say what you said?
The aged corporation?
That you're impatient with that.
Yeah.
That's why I say either you could go through some sort of program potentially. There's still other ways around it. So I would either go through some sort of program if you're just impatient about building business credit, because everybody is. It's just like literally like, oh my God, this is like detrimental. But it's really not. If you just be patient, you could really leverage it to a whole new level. But if you're just impatient with it, right? You can go through different resources to be able to assist you with whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you could do it a little bit faster. Or again, I would just leverage my personal credit. Like, if I'm just impatient about it, okay, well, that's why your personal credit is very important, right? So I would utilize that temporarily, right? Being able to do that, get it in my personal name or PG or whatever it may be, because this is how I need to start. But ultimately, once I build business credit and things like that, I would transition everything over into that, right? Strictly into the business from that point forward. But some people have to do what they have to do initially, because you never know if you are missing a good opportunity, right? So you don't want to miss something because you're not there quite yet with building, or just the impatience of it as well. So importantly, I would utilize resources that can provide me something for little or nothing, or for free, or being able to just leverage the personal credit side.